Good morning, colleagues. I hope each one of you and all of you are doing well. This is a forthcoming tutorial on our, drumroll, Practicum Canvas Module number 1. As I mentioned in the announcement, we are still waiting for Van Buren Public Schools to figure out a technological way, that we can upload your particular emails alongside the teacher to be able to observe Google Classroom. I am sure double dog hoping that by tomorrow we'll have answers. And if the answers are that we can come online, then the next module will be reflective of that. And again, if you have a teacher that you can go online with to look at their Google Classroom or their Zoom, if we're able to accomplish this, then you'll just need to discuss with me making sure it's a K through 4 teacher in a classroom that's not your mom, right? we need to not go in our mom's classrooms. How I remember going in my mom's classroom, who was a kindergarten teacher for years in Wayne Community Schools, which now is called Wayne Westland. So saying that is forthcoming. But I wanted to back up a minute, and I wanted to have you take just a quick look at the syllabus. So if you would open up your Canvas, the syllabus, really just the beginning is the only different piece, and the beginning speaks to the modules. Again, we will be having modules. There will only be 4 modules spread out through our time in Practicum, which ends June the 12th. In the context of the Practicum, we'll have 4 modules. Each module will be worth 1 point. Shocking event, right? Again, I absolutely will not allow conceptions of percentages, letter grades, all that stuff. Take away your opportunity to maximize and achieve way over 100%, which is equal to 1 point. Again, if you need more time on the modules, it's not an issue. The only issue that we may have here is in the context of, as I mentioned, making sure we can get online with Van Buren. Saying that, take a look at how the points are differentiated. 4 points is equal to an A, 3 points is equal to a B. Anything else, a retaking of a course. Again, I've never had that issue. I've never had that issue with a student since I've been at Eastern, 26 years, right? Not at all. In fact, the work products that I have from students who have finally gotten over the percentages and realized that we're not going to let school get in the way of our learning exceed and excel in the work products. So if you will now go to module number 1 on the Practicum, I'm going to go there also. You will see that I just have 1 module there, much like in the Curriculum 304, because I build and I see where we are at the end of the week and then make decisions. So I'm going to open that up. It's due May 20th. Here it comes, a bunch of students around the word learn. Module 1, assignment and rubric. Let me give you the overview. This entire semester in both of the classes is twofold. 1, so that you come away being wonderfully prepared to create direct lessons, cooperative group, project-based. And in the context of that you are able to create student engagement that is very powerful, aligned to the standards, and then that differentiates. I absolutely understand what is ahead of you in your student teaching and in many ways your first year. So I'm rapidly focused on preparing you with those knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So this first module will be very assistive in our direct lesson. So on Monday in Curriculum 304, your next module will be opened, and it will be a tutorial and a step-by-step design as to how to create a direct lesson. The first thing in the direct lesson, in the context of the lesson plan, will be what's called engagement norms. Every direct lesson needs an engagement norm. So we're going to look at this first module in Practicum and really get a sense and look at some authentic student learning in the context of engagement norms. So this would be step one, honestly, of our direct lesson, creating and modeling and engaging students in practicing engagement norms. So let's look at step one. Review the following video on engagement norms in the context of explicit direct instruction. Now note the word explicit before direct instruction. Right now in our country, we are moving towards explicit direct instruction, which is just an additional word before direct instruction. If you teach something explicitly, you're right out there, right? You're right out there. There's no hidden agenda. In your project-based, in your cooperative group, it's not that you're hiding things, but the student exploration is focused on them making discoveries, them making decisions. Over 90% of the lessons taught, K through whatever, college level, would be direct instruction. How sad is that? It would be great if maybe 10% of the lessons happened to be at the level of directed instruction, and the plethora of the rest of them would be, cooperative group, problem-based, project-based, student designed, right? In your student teaching, the first two lessons that you will have to create in your regular ed are direct lessons. So we're going to knock that puppy out of the world, okay? That sweet little puppy. We're going to hug it, not throw it out of the world. We're going to hug the puppy, right? So saying that, let's look at step one. You will be reviewing the video, the highlighted blue URL. In there, you will see just a transformative teacher who is beginning his direct lesson showcasing and taking the students through what's called engagement norms. Norms are the standards in a lesson plan that the students will engage back and show you their level of comprehension. Extremely important. May I say to you, in all of my years that I've been teaching and going into schools, over 2,000 schools, I've been on 7 indigenous reservations and done a ton of work with teachers. I have yet to be in a classroom that uses engagement norms. There are a few college level classrooms that are using them, but this is critical. These are critical, and when teachers actually see them and engage their students in engagement norms, they're like, why wasn't I doing this a long time ago? So you're going to be reviewing this video on engagement norms. Why? Because on Monday, in our Curriculum 304, and you open up that module and it's going to say create a direct lesson. Step number 1, engagement norms. So here we go. Look at step 2. As you're listening and reviewing the video with your Pepsi and Doritos, making sure you don't get orange Dorito stuff on your keyboard, it's very important that you take copious notes on letters A through D. Name the specific strategy that the teacher is modeling. He will be very explicit about the strategy. He will say, whiteboards. Write that down, whiteboards. So he is going to be taking the students through how to use whiteboards in the context of the direct lesson. So see, these engagement norms will be engagement strategies all through the lesson so the teachers can check for understanding. After the teacher on this video says an engagement strategy, such as whiteboards, write that down. B says, part B, specifics as to the process that you see in using that engagement norm. Describe the process. Be complete. So if the teacher holds up whiteboard, what did he do? How did it go? How did the students react? What's going on here? What's the process? Specifics to the process. Be clear. Whiteboards, boom, boom, boom. Here's the process. Part C. What individual task and roles did the student have with whiteboards and the teacher? Be very specific and clear about that. Boom, boom, boom. Write those down. And D, what appears to be effective within each engagement norm? Now, here is how we are going to define effective. A teacher is highly effective when their students are highly engaged, physically and cognitively. The less engagement, the less effective teachers are. But the engagement has got to be focused on the objective, hence the standard, which we'll talk about that. But when I ask you what appears to be effective with each engagement norm, what I'm asking you, such as whiteboards, how are students engaged physically and cognitively with whiteboards? So within each strategy, you're going to go through A through D. I believe there's about 6 or 7 strategies, right? So you're going to take copious notes. And the reason why you're going to take copious notes, if you'll scroll down, yes, there is another step, step 3, scroll down. You're going to create a dynamic, not a just sit and talk, not just laying back and chilling. One that shows that you are engaged, you're focused, you have passion, and you're taking on the moment. This is an example. You are taking on the moment. This is what I don't want to see. Well, step 1 shows me that the name of the engagement is whiteboards. Now, whiteboard, no, we're done with that. No, I need to see you engaged. And if your work is absolutely phenomenal, but it lacks passion and engagement, which means you are engaged physically, right? Physically, and you are engaged cognitively, which means you've been reflective. There's an intensity about you. There's joy within you. The two can hang out together, intensity and joy. But you're passionate. Your body language is out there. It's in the moment. I cannot have you sit back and not be engaged. Because eventually, when we are doing this direct lesson that you're going to do, you are going to be teaching that direct lesson as if students are in front of you. So, let's go through step 3. Create a dynamic YouTube video that discusses parts A through D in step 2 below, in which you are energetically informing your audience as to each engagement norm. You are going to teach us about these engagement norms, and you're going to do it in exciting, powerful, life-changing ways. You are not going to sit back like this. Nope. Ain't nobody got time for that. Show me what you got. Show me what it means for yourself personally to engage, to be passionate, to be focused, and to be teaching. I stand here to serve you, both now and after your course. If you need more time on a particular module or part of a module, it's not a problem. So I will be having another Zoom meeting, I'm thinking Monday, because we're going to be opening up that direct lesson. So let's say Monday at 7 o'clock, this coming Monday. And if someone has an issue with that as far as a work or a commitment, would you please let me know? Because I do not want to schedule something you're not able to come to, knowing that it is voluntary. Thank you, colleagues. And I am so thrilled about what I'm going to see in step 3, about being engaging, dynamic, passionate, intense. Show me your stuff. Thank you. And as Wendy Williams says, how you doing?